Coming up on NCC News at 4:45, there's winter weather on the horizon in central New York.
A man was shot in the leg outside of the Parkside Common Apartments in a drive-by shooting.
And how Trump's funding freeze affects higher education. Your news starts right now. Good afternoon and welcome to NCC News at 4:45. I'm Nicolette Doherty.
And I'm Max Dorsey. Nicolette, it's the middle of winter and I have yet to retire my coat.
Me neither, Max. I actually packed mine away in hopes it would bring some warmer temps, but that hasn't seemed to be working. Our Patrick Ward is live outside to let us know if we'll be needing those much longer. I mean, my mittens, my hats, my gloves, my scarves, I still have everything out, and it's mid-April, almost May.
I know, it's getting ridiculous. I keep wanting to play golf. If you saw my package in the 4 p.m. show, you would see that that's not possible yet. It just feels like it's going to snow forever here in Syracuse.
All right, Patrick, do you have more for us on the weather?
Well, Max, Nicolette, in case you are thinking that you did something that a little bit funny today, at least you're not the weatherman who forgot his jacket out here in the rain. For today's weather, though, you see, we had some slight drizzles earlier. They've come back, as you can see. The temperatures have been hovering around, the low to mid-50s with a relatively low humidity. That wind was around 15 to 20 miles an hour earlier. That has since kicked up a little bit, maybe between 20 and 25. They say April showers bring May flowers, and at this rate, we're going to be seeing a lot of flowers here in the coming weeks. Back to you guys.
This morning, the Trump administration froze $2 billion in funding for Harvard University following the school refusing to implement changes ordered by the admin. As Trump continues to crack down on higher education, many are concerned with how far he will go.
Yeah, we go live now to Jack Cusick to tell us how Harvard and even upstate New York universities are being affected.
Thank you very much, you guys. The freezing of Harvard's federal funds is the latest in a series of moves to make changes to and control higher education across the country. Demands from the Trump administration included having Harvard shut down all programming related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and mandating outside oversight of academic departments to ensure, quote, diverse viewpoints. Former president of Harvard and former U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, Lawrence Summers, expressed concerns on how this freeze is unconstitutional.
This is a very frontal and punitive, and I might add, unlawful attack.
Following the freeze, Trump posted on Truth Social, threatening to pull Harvard's tax-exempt status, accusing the school of not acting in the public interest. Summers believes the Ivy League made the right decision in upholding its academic values.
I believe that one should not comply with a government that is being extra lawful.
Trump's efforts are even targeting schools in upstate New York. Last week, Trump's administration froze $1 billion in funds for Cornell University. Yesterday, the school responded by joining a lawsuit against the Department of Education for cutting federal grants. Earlier this year, Syracuse University was on a list of colleges for the Trump administration to investigate diversity practices. We reached out to the university's Office of Diversity and Inclusion, but they declined to comment. Summers believes the chaos behind Trump's decision will cause others to reflect on the country in a very different way.
They should think about the United States the way they have traditionally thought about developing countries, that you can't predict what's going to come next, that you have to put a major uncertainty factor into every dealing and every relationship that you have.
It will have to be seen what's next for Trump's plans for higher education, Harvard, and beyond. With NCC News, I'm Jack Cusick. Back to you guys at the desk.
Yeah, New York State leaders are still debating the state budget nearly 2 weeks after it was originally due. Lawmakers say new proposals brought forward by Governor Kathy Hochul are the main holdup.
Hochul's proposals include banning cell phones in schools and bringing reforms to discovery law. Hochul went on inside City Hall with New York One's Errol Lewis this morning to discuss the budget. And she says she won't give up on the proposals despite the delay.
I'll keep up the fight, and I don't think a lot of people are worried about the time clock. Maybe some reporters are, but most people aren't even aware there's a late budget because we're continuing to fund government.
There's hope that a budget can be agreed to on Thursday, but there are no guarantees.
2 men who were working for SNUG, a program created to stop street violence, have officially been arrested for allegedly selling drugs right outside one of the program's location. Kassim Pitts and Ahmed Abdi are being accused of dealing cocaine and meth while they were on the clock, where they were hired to teach young adults on how to avoid this exact type of behavior.
A spokesperson for the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services shared with us that this does not represent the SNUG program, in a statement saying the allegations against 2 individuals do not reflect the hard work, dedication, and integrity of hundreds of SNUG Street outreach workers, supervisors, and program managers across New York State.
A 24-year-old man was shot in the leg last night near Parkside Commons. The victim had been taken to the hospital in a car by the time officers had arrived at the scene. 2 vehicles were struck during the incident as well. Police are asking for the public's help with finding the suspect. The investigation is still ongoing at this time.
With the temperature refusing to rise, people in upstate New York may be feeling a financial strain on their utility bills. But the low temps aren't the only reason why these people, including students, are experiencing higher bills.
Off-campus students in upstate New York could be facing higher living costs as National Grid proposes a major rate hike. The utility company is seeking to raise electric and gas rates, which could add over $37 to the average monthly bill. That cost may fall directly on students renting houses near campus.
For students living in off-campus houses like these, utilities are already a major expense. National Grid's rate increases. Many are worrying that they might have to make tough financial choices just to keep their lights on.
Many students in rental homes split costs with their roommates, but even shared expenses are becoming harder to manage. The potential increase in utility bills is a major concern for students already struggling to manage expenses.
Syracuse University senior Ian Eisenbrand says this increase would not be attainable.
I'm a full-time student, and I work a job, but I work less than 25 hours a week. Usually less than 20 hours a week, so I wouldn't be able to pay for it.
State officials are also raising concerns.
With April feeling a little bit more like winter than spring, I'm definitely hoping for these higher temperatures, and it's important to make sure your thermostat is turned down when possible, or your utility bill will be higher than the temperatures we have outside right now. And there's more to come on NCC News.
A Palestinian student at Columbia University was detained by ICE for organizing pro-Palestinian protests.
And Mark Zuckerberg testified at the Federal Trade Commission's antitrust trial against Meta. We'll be right back.
Auto body shops and suppliers in the central New York area are already feeling the effects of President Trump's new tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Starting today, all imports from Mexico and Canada will be taxed at 25%. Cars, trucks, and auto parts made up nearly $250 billion worth of total import value from Mexico and Canada in 2023. Owner of Syracuse Auto Works, Tim Donahue, says that his local suppliers who get parts from Mexico have already had their deals altered by the import tax.
Stuff that he agreed to buy that was $5 million is now $7 million. And there's no recourse that we have for that, and it's obviously going to trickle down to everybody.
Leaders from both Mexico and Canada have both threatened Trump with steep tariffs of their own in response to the new policy.
President Donald Trump is pausing military aid to Ukraine. This comes after last week's public clash between Trump and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky in the White House.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
Many here in central New York have kept a close eye on this issue. Syracuse has the highest number of Ukrainians per capita in New York metro areas and ranks in the top 5 nationally. Many of them attend St. John the Baptist Ukrainian Catholic Church, a staple in the Ukrainian community in Syracuse. Many Ukrainians in the community area are hoping American aid to Ukraine can resume.